Hey y'all, welcome to today's video where we're talking about chest protectors. You know, bike park season is just around the corner, and I wanted to make sure that we sat down with some people like Beka, Meg, and Kelly, three women that ride bike parks every season and that shred out there, about what protections they wear and what helps them when they're on the trail feeling comfortable, or if they have to pedal in an enduro setting. So we go into all of that. We talk about chest protectors specifically for women and some that are unisex and how they work for a woman's body. So stick around, watch that, and let us know what y'all think about these chest protectors. Do you use them? What setting do you use them in? Is it just for bike parks? Is it for steeps? Is it for enduro? Or do you use them for like gnarly tech? You know, some people I've heard use them for gnarly tech just to have that little bit of confidence on the trail. They're not going to go over the handlebars and, you know, damage a spine or something like that. But yeah, stick around, let us know what y'all think, and leave a comment below if there's any questions that you have. I'm going to leave all the info down there for Beka and Meg and Kelly as well. So stick around and enjoy the video.
Hey, ladies, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We've got Beka, we've got Kelly, we've got Meg. We're going to talk about chest protectors. How are you guys today? We'll start with Beka, who's up top for me now.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Out here in the East Coast, trying to decide if it's ever going to be spring. Not sure. I don't have any answer on that yet, but doing pretty good. Yeah.
How about you, Kelly?
Well. Kind of similar with Beka here in Southern California, though. I don't know when we're going to see some nice weather. We keep getting rain, which is unusual for us, but I miss riding my bike, getting more skiing in this year, but everything's good.
Yeah, it poured today. I don't know about down south. What about you, Meg? Were you in Laguna today?
Yes, I was, and it was a deluge. I could not, since, I don't know, 7 o'clock last night, it hasn't let up. We had a couple hours, maybe, Kelly, right?
Yeah.
A little break, and then it really came so hard. I've been in California a long time. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. So today we're going to talk about chest protectors. I know that bike park season is coming up. The three of you are seasoned bike park riders, and I'm very jealous and in awe of all your talents because this is my first year at a bike park. So you are. I mean, you guys have been doing this for a while. So I wanted to talk to you guys about your experiences with your chest protectors. I know you started with ones, you've moved on to others. I think, Meg, I want to start with you. What are you riding now, and how did you come to that one?
Experience with it. I'm with the POC VDP system, and I would argue that I was probably like a holdout. I really didn't want to have to do the chest and spine. I'll talk about why I chose POC. And then once the reality of the speeds at bike park showed, I knew it was really irresponsible at park to not have one on. And I was, I actually ordered Kelly's, and she'll get into her first one. But I still was on the fence. So I found an article in my research. It was an EWS, historical, total injuries, most common injuries, since they, I don't know how many, maybe 16 years or something study. And there was an interesting thing about how do you approach protection, right? So not everything can be protected. So what is the most important thing? And of course, our brains, we're all wearing helmets. And ultimately, it was my spine. And so that's where someone like the older school chest protectors they didn't go low enough onto the spine. That's a trade-off, because I would argue that Kel's first one is a way better rib protector. So I don't know if I'll stay with the POC long term. I just know that with how much I fall still, being a new rider, my spine's at great risk at this point, even just landing on a rock, you know?
So is it because it doesn't go down as low on your spine? Is that's what you're saying?
Yeah. Some of the chest protectors that you see at the bike park, they kind of fall right below the rib cage, and they're hard.
Okay.
So the hard is fantastic, right? It's like a tortoise shell. But it's not going to get your lower spine. So it's a real toss up with the way you approach it. So I thought brain and spine is the most important. But I'd be lying to say I wouldn't like my ribs. I had 3 massive rib injuries in my first year.
Damn.
And I would love, well, I mean, what hasn't been injured, honestly, but yeah, so that's how, so the POC that's how I landed on the POC. And I ordered the Airflex at the same time, the Leatt, and I know Becca's going to get into that one. And that, I probably would have stayed with that if it fit my shoulders right. It didn't fit the shoulders properly for me.
And what was it that didn't fit on you? Were they too wide? Were they too narrow?
The Leatt is fantastic because you can add a neck brace as well. So it has these
okay.
grips. Yeah, all
Becca's putting it up on the screen right now. Yeah, okay.
Looking into the side of my neck.
Oh, dang.
So I had to
okay.
walk away from it. And actually, one of our good girlfriends, Jess, she ended up taking that, the Airflex.
Okay. So, Kelly, you tell us about the one. You also have the POC VPDs now, right?
Yeah, I started with the Jacki 4.5, the Leatt one. It's like white and pink. You see it in like my previous post. Yeah, that one, I mean, I felt like it definitely was really good in terms of rib protection. To Meg's point, it doesn't go that far down the spine. And it definitely feels more substantial in the front. So like you feel confident, like, yeah, I'll take a rock to the chest and, the girls or whatever. It's like really good. Like the POC one, it's more narrow up in the front. So it's not fully like and
it goes low, right?
It goes low, so like you could take a rock to the chest or something, like
you could take your
this one, and the other one it was pretty high and it had a good chest plate. Like it almost felt more moto, like it's got.
Okay, so with that one, to what Meg was saying, can you also fit like a neck brace on that one as well? Or no?
The 4.5 is compatible. Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean yours, the POC one, the one that you have.
No, this is not. The Leatt one, I think the Leatt kind of almost speaks to the more moto like it kind of has that similar line. This one, no. But so like riding where we ride in Laguna, like if I'm going to do a more like new featured, steep, chunky, like I get a little nervous about the chest and the ribs and the spine, and that kind of terrain. And so the problem with the Leatt 4.5 for me was climbing it. It was so hot. Like it was just like, I was sweating. And so my husband, he has the one that just, like a lot of men can wear the ones that go under their jerseys and are like the softer and they have the shoulder and the chest. But like as a woman, and I mean, I'll speak for me personally, I don't want to look like huge, under my jersey. So I'm more of the over the jersey look.
Yes.
So then I was like, well, what are my options? And, Meg's much more into she's the extensive researcher of our friendship. So I went and looked at reviews and I read what people were saying. And I was like, yeah, this one seems good. So that's kind of how I picked the Jacki 4.5. It didn't have as many points. So it was like a 12 versus the 15, which was the higher rated one. So, I mean, it's hard to find a perfect fit.
Oh, Kelly, you bring up a really good point. The rating on the POC it's still the European certification at the second level. It's not the highest level. The Leatt is, and I even think Beka. I don't remember on the Airflex. So that's another like drawback. With it's funny, like all these trade offs, like Kelly's saying. Yeah, it's super light and airy, but if I have to wear this ugly thing over my super expensive jerseys, should I have like the top level certification? It's like these are all like questions moving forward.
It's kind of like you have a version for riding trail maybe, and then you have like a park version, because if you're not climbing, it's like I'd rather have more protection if I'm getting a chairlift up, like and have that highest rated. But right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing enduro too, you kind of need to climb. If you're doing an enduro style race, you're climbing. So you need something that isn't going to make you sweaty and heavy as you're doing it.
You either get used to it. It's kind of like some helmets, like they're hotter, they don't breathe as well, or you The POC one though, like the thing I love about it is it like molds to your body when you're wearing it. It like becomes one with you.
Oh.
So, and that's
do you feel like it's going to protect you?
Yes, more than not wearing one. But yes, it does feel, it's kind of like, Like, there's good analogies out there where there's like, it's comfort, but it's like not going to be as, it's like everyone with lightweight gloves, right? Like in the summer, you're like, I don't want these really heavy winter gloves, but if I punch a tree, I'm losing my skin, my finger, or whatever. So,
okay, here's a really good pro on the POC, because I don't believe it protect.
Please tell me
at all. Like I'm not convinced it's going to do really much on the front. Even though I know
I've got a rebuttal to that, and I'll carry on to that after.
If you wear a chesty GoPro, you can do that on that. You can attach the the holder for the GoPro. You can't do that on some of the other ones. I know you couldn't do it on the Airflex. And a good friend of ours had a horrific crash with the chesty on years ago, and it she busted her pancreas. So that's don't think about the unintended consequence of having a GoPro on your chest.
You should never wear a chesty GoPro if you don't have a chest protector.
Absolutely, that's rule number one.
Okay, so I've been doing it wrong this whole time because I wear one without a chest protector, but I don't do gnarly stuff like you guys just yet.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I just bought a full face, and so now I just have to like get that little like chin mount or whatever it's called. Jeez Louise, that's crazy. Okay, back out of that. That's horrific.
Sorry.
Hopefully she's okay though. Hopefully your friend is okay.
She's good now.
Yeah. She busted her pancreas.
It was scary. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Beka, you have the Leatt Airflex? Is that right?
Yes, I have the Leatt Airflex, yes.
So did you start with that one?
I did not. I started with the Troy Lee, hold on a second. The Troy Lee Rock Fight was what I started with. And I honestly couldn't even tell you why that's the one I started with. I remember watching a ton of reviews. I think at this point I was still very new with riding park, and so I wasn't ready to invest a ton of money. So I was like, okay, what's something that isn't going to be, because I wasn't sure how much I was going to commit to it, right? At this level. So this one, the Rock Fight was like around $110. I said, okay, I can get behind that. Had great reviews. This one did seem to have some decent side protection, like rib protection, but it did not have the full length spine protection. So I honestly only rode it a handful of times because what I noticed is it had to be worn over your jersey. There's no way to wear this one, like really comfortably wear it under a jersey. Okay. And what Kelly was saying, I didn't want to look like some big freaking bodybuilder out there. Like I just, that was part of my decision in this is that, I could pad myself up and look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but I didn't want that. Like, I don't know. You want to feel good out there. Like you just call me vain, whatever. So
hey, it's what you want to do. There's no judgment at all.
So what I found with this one though that I was disappointed with was pretty quickly on, it just popped up onto my shoulders. And it just would not stay anchored onto my chest. And not to give in too many details here, but I'm like around a CD, like 34, 36. And it just wouldn't stay down. It just kept like riding up. And I said, nah, this is gotta go.
So wait, here's a question. Did either the two of you, Meg or Kelly, experience that with any of the ones you tried on?
No.
No? Okay.
We're in a different level of
no, fair enough. Fair enough.
No kidding.
And I will say, my friend that has the same protection, the same chesty that you guys have, the same chest protector, the POC, she's not with such big assets like mine, I guess. So yeah, right. So, I think
but my question was going to be, because I've noticed that the Leatt you have is the women's, and so is the POC ones you have, was that a women's or is it like universal? And the same for Troy Lee, because if Troy Lee isn't taking that into consideration.
The Troy Lee one was universal. In fact, I think it's honestly marketed as a men's chest protector.
Of course, they all are. It's all men. So the POC, what about the POC, you guys?
It's unisex. Yeah, there's not a women. It was funny because my husband was like, they should how Armor had like the women's version Armor. They should make Armor for women. That's like he's like, why isn't there? I'm like, I know, it's funny, right?
At least with the little
That
kids.
little cutouts or the
Yeah. But that was one of the reasons that I was drawn to this. So a friend of mine had a crash and she had a Leatt helmet. So she wound up with this, like, when you submit photos of your helmet to Leatt, they will give you a coupon, like after a crash. So like she submitted photos of her crash, her helmet after a crash. And they were like, thank you. We're so glad you're okay. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here's a whatever % coupon. And I was in the market for a new chest protector and this one was just coming out. So I was like, yes, this is amazing. It's got these side flex panels, which is what really drew me to it. It kind of has these
really nice.
Oh, nice.
Side flex panels. And the way that it builds in its paneling and like the way it's segmented,
right?
It's like kind of meant to fit. It's design. It seems like it's very, very well designed to fit over a woman's
chest.
Physique. Yes, chest.
Okay.
And I put it on, and I did order a smaller size than I normally do. So this one I think was like a size small, but I wanted something low profile. So I said, all right, I'm going to give this one a shot. I love it. It has a super, super, super long back piece. Like it goes all the way down. In fact, some of my friends that have
Is that the front or the back?
It's the back.
That's the back. That's the back.
See, that's how
so some of my friends that have the same one, they say it's too long and it actually like tries to go into their pants. I don't care. I want it long. I think it's great.
Okay.
And but I'm 5'7", so that's not a disadvantage.
How long's your torso? Longer. I guess is my question. Because I have a weird body type.
I think it's maybe a little bit on the longer side, but I don't think it's
that would be bad for me. If it's like going in there, if it's good on you, but my torso is like a foot. Like I'm 5'10", and like I'm all legs. Like I'm like, so if it's going in the pan.
Well, and that might be, and the only other person that has given me this comparison, they were like 5'4", and this friend did have a shorter.
I might
torso,
be okay then.
So I'm not
Maybe
sure because I have another friend that's on the shorter side that loves it. So
I'm going to email Leatt tomorrow, no joke, and I'm going to be like, can you guys send each one of us to test it out? Because we're each a separate size. I'm 5'4", and I'm really big-chested. Kelly's 5'10". How tall are you, Meg?
5'5".
Yeah, so you're like an inch taller than me. And Beka already has one. The four of us can get together.
But I'm like longer. Like I don't have a short
longer torso. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the beauty of trying it out, though. Like, have him send it to us, and we'll each try it out, and we'll do a review on each one of them.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out.
One of the cool things that this has, it has this great. So this almost looks like a little bra strap, right? This like comes around the back, and it like pulls it from the back up to the front. So it literally molds it in and draws that back piece into part of the chest. It looks like a bra connector, like a bra strap.
How did the Velcro hold up, Beka? I was wondering about if it would last.
Wonderful. I have worn this directly not against my skin, but like against a sports bra. So I've worn this almost like as a base layer, and I've worn it on top of a jersey. What I usually do at the parks is wear it almost like a base layer, so under a sports bra and under like a fitness tank, like something that's like a wicking, and then I'll wear just like a flowy jersey or even a crop top, something like that, something that can get some good airflow for the summer. And it's been,
and it doesn't make you look bulky.
And it does
so you wear under a jersey.
I would love to try. I would love, Kelly, you and I should try our POCs with I'm so sick of my jerseys getting ruined from having this chest thing on.
I know. So
with like with like an ad for POC on my back, like, so we should try them, Kelly, with like tight, sports tanks, like Beka said, and then what would happen? I haven't tried it yet. Jersey over it.
I need to I could do like a bigger jersey over it. I think this one would be perfect because it's pretty low profile to do that.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, I think I would be interested to see that because my friend that had the POC, she survived a really, really horrific crash and was knocked out cold for over 5 minutes. Landed on her back. She had the POC, the chest protector that you guys have. no injuries of her torso, nothing.
That's pretty good. It's a good testament.
And,
Interesting.
Yeah.
But Meg, you guys were saying that it's not super long in the back,
It
right?
is long.
No,
It covers the
it
spine.
covers your whole spine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't cover the
The-
rib area. That's what you were saying.
It does.
It does, but it doesn't have the side on it like the Jacki or the Airflex.
Got it.
It kind of like stops mid, right?
Yeah,
like a quarter, 3/4 across.
Yeah, because the Jacki has like panels that come across and close over, so you're totally protected. So if you land on your side, which normally
similar to the Troy Lee,
Yeah.
similar to the Troy Lee men's one, it has that like
and normally like if you're crashing, you're going towards your side because you're trying to not just go straight, you know, on your chest usually, unless you have an OTB. But you know, so it is kind of nice to have that side protection because when I hit my also the consideration with the protection on the ribs and the side is the handlebar. That one's a gnarly one to the ribs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I survived a pretty good crash with this one, and I landed with my arm up on the side. I'm sure you guys have seen the photos of this from over the summer. And I like took a chunk out of my side. That's where I had that gorgeous little hematoma right there, and my ribs were fine, like complete. And I landed like wind knocked out of me, couldn't speak. I was like, I'm gonna die.
Pretty good.
That's fine, but yeah. So
you've had the
my
Airflex
back
has
was
been
fine.
crash tested.
Yeah.
Oh yes, many times.
Yeah, because I mean, Meg, you were wearing yours when you had your last crash, but you went you went side, kind of right.
It's not gonna help a shoulder.
Yeah.
So Meg,
Yeah.
did you have any rib injuries with your accident, or was it just your collarbone?
No, it was a direct hit. Right.
Like a direct collarbone. Okay.
Classic collarbone nightmare. Direct hit over the bar, and then
So you started riding again. Are you confident with the POC chest protector that you have now?
I had a couple videos up with it on. Like Kelly, I've been learning a new trail system.
Yeah.
You know, it's high consequence, and it just honestly, some of it is so I don't have to freaking hear it from other people, right? I'm not being smart, getting back on my bike, and then. Secondly, of course, new features as Kelly, you know, climbing and then pretty like gnarly features. It just felt like the right thing to do. Now that being said, I haven't made a commitment to always having it on. 100% high, anything high speed, I will keep it on now. Not that I ever go that fast, but you know, for me, high speed. I'll keep it on like the jump lines down here in Southern California, absolutely. And I haven't decided yet, like if it'll be like a everyday. You know, just
but going. Sorry, go ahead.
You know, like
so
I know it's going to be like high consequence. I will wear it. And this is all I know by us talking about picking and choosing when to wear it. It sounds like a pretty faulty logic. I understand that, but you know, we're on our bikes for a long time, and comfort is a factor. So.
And I think it really is dependent on what you're using, where you're riding it. Because in Sedona, for example, where I love to ride, there's no one there that wears chest protector. But then again, you're not doing gnarly jumps
and you're not going super
fast descents like that. You know, you're not. No, you're not at all.
Well, similarly for me, on all of our local trail systems, even the ones with big jump lines or more tech, those are not the same at all to park level riding. So I exclusively wear this at parks. And I have done a few warm-up laps without it, and I won't do that again because it is kind of like a safety net. And even if it's just mental at that point, crashes can happen over the dumbest things. And it clearly, as my ACL can attest, it doesn't take much. So mine is solely worn at parks. I've never had to pedal in it. I've never had to wear it in more of an endurance type setting. I have worn it at very, very hot and humid summers, and it's done great. I mean, I'm hot. You're hot and sweaty, but anything is. I mean, it's an East Coast humid summer, you know?
I'm curious to see how the Leatt that you have compares to the one that Kelly has used for climbing wise. Like
I'd like to test it in like Laguna.
I think it might be really warm. It's super lightweight, but that POC literally has big holes all the way down the back piece.
Yeah.
And then
yes, the POC one is like pure ventilation. Like it's like a thicker
breathable
material. Like it's almost like one panel, but it's like full of holes in like the best.
See?
You literally don't even notice it's on after it warms up to your body. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
totally
this rubber like molds onto you. So it like, and then you're very ventilated. So I mean, for me too, it feels like doing the gnarlier like Laguna Southern, chunk. So the biggest issue, or where I see there being a problem, is really steep, getting caught, right? And then going OTB onto my back, onto like rocks that are poking. That's scary. So for me, it's not even high speed. It's just like how I'm gonna like end up landing. So I feel like this one is really good for like the local trail system. If I'm doing something, trying new trails, or I just know we're getting into like a lot of steeps. It's a safety blanket. It just feels a little better. Yeah, it might not help, but it can't really hurt. And then I think for the park, like I am open to checking out like the Airflex and some other ones. I like my Leatt. I don't really like the white anymore. I got over that. So yeah, I'm definitely down to try out something new.
That was going to be one of my questions.
I'll borrow the Jacki if it goes with one of my outfits.
There you go. You can wear all white. Like look all
all my pink.
You can borrow it anytime. It's in the tote.
We need to do a day at Snow Summit when it opens with all of this.
Yeah, it opens in September with the salty snow.
Right? I'm hearing that Mammoth is going to be open.
Be able to run in September, so maybe I'll come out.
I'm hearing that Mammoth is going to be open for ski and snowboarding until the end of May.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's not August.
Yeah, even there, I heard someone say July. Who knows? Meg, you'll probably know.
I'm not going to Mammoth, so hopefully.
No, Mammoth Bike Park might not even open.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some it'll probably open because it'll probably get warmer.
Ours are opening early because we have nothing.
It's like every time the West gets a big winter, you guys get nothing, and vice versa.
This is 2 years in a row we've had nothing. So all of our snow stuff.
We're going to ride with Beka.
Is closing early.
I was going to say we're going to Beka. We're going to go ride with
Yes.
We're going to
come
on out. Mia's coming out in August. So yes.
We could do
We're going to crash your couch.
Absolutely.
So that you brought up a good point, Kelly. So you feel like it's a little bit of a safety blanket. Does that help you feel like you can take on things or trails without?
For sure.
Right? So it's the same as if Meg is shaking her head. Meg is saying no.
Yeah.
No.
But for you, Kelly, it is.
Why? It's just because I've had some absolutely gnarly crashes on the snow over the last couple decades, and I've had to check myself to make sure I don't develop that mentality, because it like the girls are saying, it is a safety blanket for sure, like absolutely, but back to the ribs, like my rib injuries were all the bending based rib injuries, so there's like the twisting forces with ribs.
Yeah.
That's not going to help that. Right. So I've been trying to like check myself to not let that happen, because it can happen easily. So that's just my personal
my view
experience.
I mean, my view on it is if I'm wearing a half shell, I'm not riding gnarly. Like you'll never see me go out and do something like it's just not happening. That's a great point. You can just assume if you see me at half shell, like I'm out there for like fitness or for just pretty much like a full time, just because of my job and I'm so face to face with clients. I really can't even have a bruise on my face. And it still will happen with the helmet on because it'll smash into my face. So I know that's definitely a possibility. But I'd prefer my teeth to stay in if that would, if anything. And then, I mean, like the chest protector, you still need to be skilled, right? I'm not going to go do something that I'm not out of my wheelhouse, but it does, the more I'm wearing, like even pants versus shorts or like thicker gloves or whatever, is just a mental thing. It's like wearing your lucky socks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just gives me that like more confidence, but really what gives me confidence is how I'm riding. So if I'm riding well, I'll go tackle it. If I'm riding like crap, I'm going to push it off to another day. So.
Yeah. I mean, the mindset is the main thing. Real quick, did you guys follow Jess Hannah's story when her friend Candace busted her face?
Yes, I did, and that was sealed the deal on the full faces, even though I didn't.
So
this weekend.
Poor Candace.
Insane.
We spent the weekend with them in Sedona, and Candace is absolutely lovely and really, really amazing. But she had stitches like on the inside of her mouth. She had like 15 stitches where you could see the nerve in her bone.
Oh, she got work.
So the poor woman, but she's doing great now.
Was that Sedona?
But I was like,
sorry,
Candace,
I missed it.
No, so this was they were riding in southern Arizona, the Haas trail system. And she was riding a trail blind, and she didn't see there was a gap jump, and the person in front of her didn't call it. And so when she went to do it, she didn't make the gap jump. Her bike went, and when she landed like face first on the ground. And so everything just kind of went in her mouth, the poor thing. But so it was gnarly. And so now my joke with her all weekend was, do you need a full face? I can get you a full face.
Was she wearing a half shell?
Yeah, she was. And I messaged her and was like, so are you convinced? Like, are you going to do it? And that was still like, that's when she was like, she's like, oh, for sure. But you know how quickly, I didn't have one on in the desert. I also didn't think it was necessary with how much climbing was.
I mean, no one thinks it's necessary. I didn't see
until you need it in your face. And that's why I told Kelly, I think Kelly has been like a fantastic role model with the full face, at least in like the southern coastal Orange County. Like, it's so interesting, like how different pockets have different cultures. Like, I noticed being up in Los Angeles in the Simi area, it's like a bigger like safety culture than Laguna is. You know, Laguna has like a little bit of a bravado about it. So I think Kelly's been a good role model about kind of the reality. Like, you don't want plastic surgery. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or to lose an eye, or have to have like teeth reconstructed and all that stuff. Like, you don't want to have to deal with any of that. Sorry, we digress here. We should do a full face.
Hey, that's a good segue. That's next.
In the next
we should, because like that range alone, like, you better believe me, when I'm out at Sedona, whenever that's going to be next, I'm bringing my full face. You know, I've got my downhill rated one. I've got my enduro rated one. I'm bringing it. I don't care. Okay. Absolutely.
Just saying. So let me start with you, Meg, again. Pros and cons of the POC that you have now.
Pro for me is that it's super low profile, and you can wear it in hot weather. I mean, I've only tested here in like flatlands, so to speak, compared to the mountain. And I thought I was going to die the first 10 minutes I had it on. Like, are you kidding me? And I completely forgot it was on. The con is definitely a question mark about side and like the full rib cage protection. That's
okay. What about you, Kelly?
I just say like the pro is going to be the comfort, and then the fact that I can climb big climbs in it, and I don't feel like it's really making me a lot hotter. Like, I'm just hot, and I'm just normal. Like, it doesn't bother me. And then the fact that another pro is that it molds to my body. So I just, at the park, I forget I'm wearing it. It doesn't feel as hard plasticky as my Leatt does. It felt more kind of like restricting me. And this one I can feel more like I can move around. And then the con, it's just like, because it doesn't feel as hard plasticky and strong, then you question, like, is it going to be as effective?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What about you, Beka? Pros for yours?
I'd say the pros is that it's very comfortably form-fitting for a woman's physique. I think it's a great option for women that do have a larger chest. It does offer full spine protection, and it has like the moldable kind of different panels in the front meant to fit. The side strap that connects the back to the front is very unique for a women's specific product. I really like that. And you can add, if you so choose, a lot of riders at downhill parks choose to wear the neck brace with it. So it is adaptable with that. I've never had to climb in it. No, it's okay. No, I've never had to climb in it. I have worn it in really, really hot days. And it feels like I'm wearing a chest protector. Like, I don't know if I would have a trade-off. So it's definitely something I'd be curious about. And because it is so flexible and low profile, kind of like what Kelly was saying, I'm not sure how it would stack up in terms of the gnarliest crash. It has supported me so far in my crashes, but I don't know. Maybe that could maybe be a potential downfall because it's low profile, doesn't offer as much protection.
And that's not something we want to find out. We don't want to crash and find out the protection of it. One more question for you guys, and whoever wants to start could start this. Was money a factor when you went to choose your chest protector? And why is that? Okay, Becca.
It was slightly for me. It was
like, you can't cheap out on your safety. That's my answer.
Same.
Right, and that's what I was going to lead to. But what were you going to say, Becca, for you?
It's slightly for me in the factor that I didn't have, especially at the time, just the disposable income to just like buy it and say, okay, I'm going to buy this and it's top of the line. Like I wanted it to meet my needs as well. Like I know that they made I remember when my friend did buy the POC, and that is, I think, on the higher end of cost comparative to some. And I'm not saying it's not worth it, but my friend bought it and I wasn't able to just buy it for like, I tried the Troy Lee first because the Troy Lee was, a better price point for me as a starting point. Now that I'm a couple years into downhill, I think making the investment is completely worth it. And for me at this point, it would not deter me to spend the money as a new park rider. As a new park rider, it would.
Okay. Fair enough. That's understandable. Well, there is two trains of thought. Like for me, I'm in the market to get one. So listening to all three of you talk about it, it's going to be the safety more than anything. Cause I know I don't know which one I'm going to get, but I am going to email Leatt, be like, there's 3 of us in Southern California who need to compare it to the East Coast one.
Do it.
And we each need one.
Yeah. I truly would love to hear what you ladies think of it compared to the POC. Because even with cost not being a factor, like if we take that out of it, I feel like the POC would not fit my physique. And maybe I'm wrong in that. I could be wrong.
No,
but
it's funny. Like it cuts in here. And so like the large, you guys with having a bosom, you'd have to get.
Kelly's going to put it on.
Sorry, I just wanted to test it because
see how her boobs, like your boobs could totally stick out the sides of that.
That's what and it depends on like the width.
I'm just saying,
like the width of your chest too, right? Because like if you're like Meg has she's a petite like build, and I'm 5'10" and I have wider shoulders, was a swimmer. So it like because I have smaller chest, it works. But I think for a larger chested woman, it would probably be awkward. Like it might come out
and that's kind of
be like,
I
don't know.
No. Put this on too.
We need to try it.
That was kind of a reason. Oh, I lost my headphones. That was kind of a reason that I didn't try it because my friend that had it. She was like a really close riding friend of mine, so I saw it all the time. And this is even without doing the third strap that then like brings it in. So that was kind of like for me was a deterrent to not buy it because I saw it in action. I saw it save her spine. Like that was not a question for the protection level that I was looking for. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if that would go both ways in that like this would be great for you ladies, but I wonder if the POC would be
for someone smaller,
for
a smaller build, maybe this would be a good like option for women. And that one looks better. I mean, it looks like it fits you much better. Like it's up high, it's So
and it's got a lot of side, ability to really hug it in and stuff. So I think that the key is for like me and I have said so often, the key is having options. Yeah. The key is for women to have options. And have options that are designed for women that aren't just.
I keep seeing the Fox one too.
For women,
tested that one.
I haven't either. But it looks my only thing I didn't like about the Fox one is if you have to wear it outside your jersey, it has like a brown spine thing.
Oh,
it's not black.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I wonder if Jordan has that one. She probably does. My friend.
Ladies, you all have been really, really amazing. And I think we need to do a round 2 once we all get our hands on these and actually like test it out in the next like bike park season, because I'm not going to say in May because it probably weren't going to happen in May.
No.
But June, July, whenever we get our hands on it, would be great.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Beck?
I was going to say, hey, come east. We got parks open next month, but
it's actually more comfortable to sit in a chair with my spine protector.
I'll be cheering on the I'll be cheering on the sideline.
Yeah, the chair's not comfortable.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we kind of sign off? Was there something that we missed or I didn't ask that y'all wanted to share about it? The ones that you have now?
I think we do a follow-up when we try some other ones.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to do a take 2 of this, a part 2.
Yeah.
I would love to hear, like, I would love to see a formal representation from every brand of what they are putting out as their women's chest protector. Are they just rebranding? Are they just rebranding what is their unisex or their men's specific and they're just calling it a women's product? Are they actually taking into women's needs and measurements and what we're asking for? I would love to see that.
That's a great question, and I'm going to send some emails and ask, because it's like what I've heard from a lot of women that I met that work in the bike industry, whether it's apparel or bikes. They're there, their voices are being heard, but they're not the final sayer. So even for like women specific clothing, women are creating some of the lines, but they're not the ones that make the final decisions. So they're still not heard in a way. So that's a great question in regards to some of that. But you guys are amazing. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
And stay on so we can chat after this. But thank you again. And we're going to do a part 2 and we'll keep everyone updated. I'm going to put links to Meg, Kelly, and Beka's Instagrams and emails, or anything that you guys want to ask them, you can reach out to them. And I'm sure they'll help you out with questions. So have a great night, ladies, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.